Are you still longing for that perfect person that's going to solve everything in your life? That's literally going to make you feel like you're complete and whole, that's going to get you in the difficult times, the up and down times, the times where you actually just really don't feel like anything makes sense. In those moments when you're craving someone, craving that connection, that you have that person, that the one is going to solve those feelings, fix those feelings that you maybe struggle with. I'm going to be honest with you, for the last 32 years, that has been my thing, where I've really wanted to just be with someone who gets me, someone who understands all my quirks, my weird bits, my funny bits, and who I could be completely vulnerable and open with, someone who's not going to disappoint me, someone who is that perfect person. And up until a few days ago, I realized, hey, that's an old paradigm of thinking. And this paradigm of thinking is actually keeping me from having this wondrous, wonderful, amazing relationship that I would like to have with another person. And in this video, I'm going to discuss why this is so. And then I'm going to share with you what the upgraded belief is, the actually ascended belief that I'm taking on, and I invite you to take on too, if you actually want to live a more expanded, truer version of yourself. So if this floats your boat, then stick around. Hey, I'm Terry Nightingale, and I'm an energy intuitive and higher consciousness channel. And on this channel, we awaken you to your true self. Yes, that's your most authentic expression in divine form. So today I'm breaking all the rules. Like, this is weird because there's like feathers floating here and the lighting doesn't make sense. And my neighbor, who's an artist, is literally doing some project. So you're going to hear some noise in the background. But the reality is, I promised the video 7 SAST every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So I'm showing up. So please bear with me. This is what I've got for you. I'm being authentic and I'm being a human. And this is where I'm at. So what is this thing with the one? What is this the one paradigm? So it's pretty simple. We get it, right? It's this concept we've been fed since we were kids. And women often get fed it with the Prince Charming and the guy who is just going to come into our lives and change everything for us. He's going to wake us out of our slumber and we're going to realize how amazing life really is, right? And the sex is going to be amazing. The conversation's just going to be amazing. He's just going to get us. He's going to be so emotionally available. He's going to know himself so much. And we won't have to face any disappointments with him. And he's going to be able to pick us up and like sling us over his shoulder, you know? And don't get me wrong, men experience this too, where this notion of, you know, that the one that got away, often explored in Hollywood movies too. So it's a lovely concept. It's really romantic. But let me tell you why it's an old paradigm. So firstly, this paradigm implies that who you are right now, where you are in your life, is not good enough, because you need something external outside of you to give you happiness. Secondly, that your life is just going to be better and more perfect once this person arrives, which fits with the first reason. Thirdly, you're subconsciously programming yourself to say that what you have and what you're experiencing right now is not good enough. And as you know, the universe reflects back to you what you believe, because consciousness flows from you, your life flows from you. So what does the universe do? The universe just says to you, yeah, where you are right now is not good enough. What it also does is it places this other person on a pedestal and you beneath them, which implies that this person is better than you. And this then implies that that person, because they're better than you, they're above you, they have more power than you. So you give your power away. Essentially, you say, this person has more power over me. They have more power over my experience than I do. And then what do you tell yourself? You tell yourself that your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your experience is not good enough. how you're experiencing things isn't good enough to be noticed, isn't good enough to be validated. And then what does that mean? It sets you up for a relationship that's likely to fail. Because A, you don't really know how you feel. You don't know how to manage your feelings. You don't even know maybe what feels good and what doesn't feel good to you. So you attract someone who seems to look like the one, but because you haven't gotten in touch with yourself and what your needs are, what your wants are, when you feel good to say, hey, let's take the next step, it doesn't feel that great. And I can tell you this happened with me, because every time I met someone, I took this concept of the one and put it on them, which was expecting them to make me feel better, to be there for me, to always get me, to make me feel whole, to make me feel loved. And I applied this concept to someone who abused me, and then someone who didn't want to get married to me. And I couldn't see the relationship that I was in because I placed these people in a box. So what happens when we look at people through a concept? It's like we're looking at them through a specific filter with a specific lens. And when we're looking at them with a lens, it's like if you imagine me with sunglasses on now, then all I see is that filter over them. I don't get to see their real colors. I don't get to see who they really are. I deny myself the full experience of the reality that is present to me, and I deny them to show up as who they are. And what do you actually really want when you want this great relationship, when you are looking for the one? The relationship, right? You're looking for that connection. And in order to connect, I need to know myself first. I need to know what's going on with me first. I need to know when is it okay for me to go, yes, I'm ready to take the next step, whether that's sleeping together, whether that's moving in together, whether that's saying, I love you. Those are all processes and steps that are part of a relationship. But when we have this idea, this notion of perfection that's just going to fall into our laps, we're saying to ourselves that we don't have to show up. So what is the upgraded belief? The upgraded belief is simple. You are your one. As we come to this planet many times, and this was something that my guides said to me, it's something I channeled when I was doing this video, and they said to me, we come to this planet several times, and each time we come to this planet, we can explore this notion of the one, and it shows up for us in different ways. But essentially, we get to a place of ascension where we understand that the one is always us. And why? Because whatever we have in our experience is always reflected back to us. And on our journey as souls on this planet, we're constantly being reminded of who we are, which is that we are whole, which is that we are divine, and that we are of God, and when I say God, I don't mean a religious God. I mean of source, of the universe, and that we create with the universe. We are creators ourselves. And if you don't know what your energy tools are, so you don't know what emotions you're sitting with, you don't know what pain you're sitting with, you don't know what joy you're sitting with, that's what you're going to create. So the person who shows up in your reality is a reflection of your consciousness, what's going on within you. So you're always going to be your one, and the person who's with you, whether it's a friend, whether that's someone else, whether it's just you, whether it's a family member, how you're interacting and how you're perceiving what's going on there, that's the gold there. And that's where the focus should be, instead of this concept. When we're chasing concepts, we leave the present moment. We leave where we are. We leave the space of infinite intelligence that is available to us right now in this moment, that's going to show us so much more about life. When we get stuck in concepts, we get stuck in boxes. We then limit ourselves and we limit our experience. And by limiting our experience, we don't allow the expansiveness of life. So you are your one, and being here right now, knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. And what you're experiencing and what you're going through now is exactly what you do need to be experiencing. Does this mean you can't manifest someone amazing and beautiful and wonderful in your life? Of course you can. Of course you can. But know that if you're chasing a concept, that concept is going to show you what you believe that concept to be. So the only way to really get what it is that you really want is to get to know you. If you're stuck with a concept that you've been fed, that means that someone's just going to fix everything for you, you will find yourself reliant on someone else for your happiness. That's what it will be. And the question I ask to you is that what you want? Is it? This was a little bit different. I know the setup is a bit different, but I wanted to give you something that was really authentic and something that actually came from what I had channeled through with my guides. There is never any right or wrong with these kind of experiences. And in fact, if you feel like exploring the notion of the one is something that you need to do, because quite honestly, it was something I explored for a really long time, then you must do so. But what I started noticing within my consciousness, within myself, was that there was this kind of block. I could feel it energetically that I've started putting out there, because I'm going, there's only space for this one person, and that then limited how I was showing up in my relationships, because I was tying intimacy to one person and tying joy to one person and tying real openness only to one person. And the truth is, you can have these beautiful expansive relationships with several people, and not only in a romantic context. And in actual fact, when you can have that kind of experience with several different people, you show yourself how expansive you really are, because you do show up in different ways. And when two different people come together, there's so much more that you can explore. So it depends on what kind of reality you want to have for yourself. Do you want to have it limited to one, just that one person? And when it is just that one person, what does that mean when that person is gone? So beautiful beings, I hope this video shifted things for you. If you like my vibe, if you like how I'm exploring concepts, I believe we do need to address our views and the kind of concepts we create, specifically in the law of attraction community and specifically in the consciousness community. And if we want to be conscious beings, we have to actually ask ourselves, what is it that I want? What is it that I really want to experience? And am I getting stuck in concepts that keep me limited to a particular type of experience? Those are things that we need to know about ourselves. So if this floats your boat, then and you like this, then remember to like and subscribe. I do have other content that does take a different format, and if you are one of my subscribers, thank you for being around. I really do appreciate you. You guys are the reason I'm doing this. I appreciate your feedback on what you enjoy more. What do you like? How did this video make you feel? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm here for my exploration of self, and as my exploration of myself as a divine being and as a human expression. And for me, it's super important that we do have a connection. So I'd love to know what you think. Otherwise, thank you so much for your time. And as always, beautiful beings, as always, I wish you love. Bye, beautiful beings.